What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Treehouse Vibes podcast. We're your hosts, Maurisa,
Monica,
and I'm Luciano.
And today we're going to be talking a little bit about conspiracy theories. So before we start, though, I'm going to give a little disclaimer. The following are just theories and not facts. They are just for fun and not to be taken seriously or as the truth.
Okay, so I did a little bit of research, and actually one of my favorite conspiracy theories is the New World Order, or NWO, as it's known also. So basically, to put it in basic terms, the New World Order theory says that secret organizations such as the UN, the elite, such as, Bloomberg's, Clinton's, families, they all have an agenda of ruling the world through an authoritarian government. The way they try to achieve this is through manufactured crises, like I said, such as terrorist attacks, pandemics, such as the swine flu at one point. It's also been said about currently COVID-19. So this is basically how they try to achieve this. They've also said that they control the weather. They have weather controlling machines. And what I found interesting is that it correlates also to the UFOs theories, which I know, Luciano, you like the UFOs theories.
Yeah. I love UFOs and aliens. I said it in the last episode. It's my birthday month. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully they come. They drop a little present or something for me.
Yes. So basically, what it says is that the aliens actually control these powerful secret organizations and cover up evidence such as Area 51. Because you know how Area 51, no one is allowed to go in it. It's very secretive, top secret stuff. So they're saying that aliens kind of take form of humans and such as, for example, the Bloombergs or something some powerful people like that, and cover up these Area 51s, for example, and evidence like that. I also try to find evidence on the New World Order theory, and there wasn't much evidence. But one of the things that they did try to bring up as evidence was, the dollar bill, how there's a Latin phrase, and for many years they said that translated to New World Order, but the actual translation of it is actually New Order of the Ages, so that was debunked.
So there's the dollar bill. They have the triangle. It's like the Illuminati symbol, so the eye with the triangle.
Yeah, and also, I forgot which bill it was. It might have been the $20 bill, where if you fold it a certain way, it shows the Twin Towers falling,
it shows them on fire.
On fire. So, but these might just be coincidences and not true evidence. So we don't really know. There's not a lot of evidence out there.
I remember, not to interrupt, but I remember in middle school, that was kind of the cool thing to do. I remember my friends in the lunch in the cafeteria, they'd be like, "Oh, check out what I can do with my $20 bill," and it'd be the Twin Towers on fire and all that. And like I said, you're in middle school, you're like, "Wow, that's cool," but now that we're grown, it's was that part of evidence or a hint?
Yeah, and the funny thing is, when you fold it, you see the Twin Towers, but it's folded into a pentagon.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
And the pentagon, if you fold it, it's actually in the shape of the pentagon. So that's another pretty crazy thing about that. It's the pentagon and the Twin Towers.
But this theory has actually started back in 1920s, and it hasn't been truly debunked. So who knows? We really don't know if this is true or not. But it's one of my favorite theories, like I said. And anybody had any other theories?
I mean, it kind of goes New World Order. you said 1920s, but also I've heard like it comes back with Abraham Lincoln and his assassination, John F. Kennedy and his assassination, Martin Luther King Jr. There are like moments in history where it feels like things were pushed a certain direction, like it was going somewhere, and then it was like a power, a higher power was like, no, we're switching back to this way. Like,
Yeah, that goes back to manufactured crisis, right? Like the assassination of JFK. This is all because supposedly he had information that they didn't want us to know. So it all goes back to the agenda that the government wants us, wants to do with us.
yeah, and with the JFK, if anybody wants to look online, I found it like a couple of years ago. It was the speech where he was heading to. He was gonna reveal aliens were like, we contacted aliens or they contacted us, and he was about to like reveal it to the world, and he was shot, right? And supposedly he had like a handwritten speech, and he gave it to another politician. This is all online, and he kept it in a safe. And right before he died, he took it out, and they did studies on it, and it was 99.99% his handwriting, John F. K's handwriting, and it goes with the famous words, which is played in movies and video games. It's like, we are not alone. That's what JFK was gonna say. He was gonna say, whatever, like, American citizens of the world, we are not alone. That's how he was gonna start it, and it takes a little finding, but you can find it online. It's very, very interesting.
Actually, also, they said that he told Marilyn Monroe about that too.
Really?
Yeah.
Supposedly, he told her about it. And was she also killed or no?
They think she either overdosed or she committed suicide, but a lot of people believe that she was murdered.
Yeah.
A lot of people believe that. So that's another theory also, that they were both murdered because she had information.
So yeah, it's all interconnected.
Yeah, the big picture is that it's all interconnected. There's a group of people that have almost unlimited money, and that equals power, and with that they try to control the direction that the other 8 billion people want to go, or how just...
So actually another theory that is kind of connected that you mentioned is the Area 51. They're all the theories we're going to talk about today are kind of interconnected now that Monica's talked about the New World Order, because they are intertwined. And but actually the CIA didn't actually reveal it to the public until 2013. In 2013 was when they officially acknowledged that this was a real place. And Obama actually is the first president to actually mention Area 51. So Area 51 is actually, like I said, a military base that was opened during the Cold War, and they were trying to aerial test spying, but they didn't want to get caught. So what they did was they opened up this base and they started flying higher up in the air so that they could spy on the Soviets and what have you. So from there, that's what they claim. A lot of people in the area would say that they would see flying saucers. They were claiming that they saw UFOs, but then according to the government, they're saying, no, those were U-2 spy planes. They were not UFOs, even though people swear that's what they saw. So either it's true and they were flying things over, or they're just making an excuse. A few years ago, people tried to storm Area 51, and I think they went there.
No, this was last year.
Was it? Oh, it was last year? I thought it was in 2018.
I know I heard about the Area 51 raid, and it was getting momentum, and then Facebook shut it down, and then it started again. It was the first year of the Area 51 raid. Maybe we were all a little nervous, a little scared, but I think what's going to happen in the second year, the third year, the fourth, the fifth, imagine the 10th year of the Area 51 raid. I think thousands are going to show up, thousands, as we get more confidence about it. Yeah.
I've watched videos before that talk about how supposedly there's 3 species of aliens on the planet right now. And one of them they refer to as the tall whites. So maybe aliens already did come for your birthday. Maybe they're already here. Maybe they'll just make an appearance.
So I think, Luciano, you had another theory.
Yes, I had a theory which it's hard to get people to talk about it. It's easier to accept what the government fed us to be the whole story, and that is 9/11. There's a lot of holes in how the government explains that day, and how the people that were actually there, how they explained that day. There's quite a few theories. They all kind of mesh together, but basically they're saying it was a false flag attack planned by the government to get us into Afghanistan and Iraq.
Yeah. People also believe that the Twin Towers were brought down by explosives. If you kind of look at the way the buildings came down, it looks like a demolition. It doesn't look like they just fell. They didn't fall in pieces. They just literally fell. Yeah, that day it looks, if you watch like a video, it looks like it just so neatly went into the building. Yeah. Like if you look at the plane, it doesn't look like any damage happened to it. It just glides right in there.
Also, didn't they find a passport from Afghanistan or Iraq?
Yeah, they found they couldn't find pieces of the plane, like large pieces of the plane, but they found an intact passport, like slightly damaged, but in pretty good shape. And it's paper. I mean, it's a paper thing. That should be gone. If body parts are all over the place and the plane is like in smithereens, how are you going to find an intact passport and then be like, this is the guy?
I read a stat that says like over 50% of the American people don't believe the story. And this might sound a bit controversial, but I think the best way to give our respect and our memory and respect to the 3,000 people and plus that died that day is to talk about it and question the government and the story that they're telling us. Because if we just eat up what they're telling us, I don't think that's paying respect to the 3,000 people that died, unfortunately, on that day.
It's not just enough to have like a monument with all their names, or like even to mention it on 9/11, on each 9/11. I don't think that's enough. We need to tell people the truth and,
Yeah, also they talk about the airline 93. They say that it was shot down because supposedly the story behind it is that they were hijacked. I don't know, they were heading somewhere in Pennsylvania, and the people on the flight took down the plane. They fought the terrorists and took it down. But when you look at the evidence, there's really not much of the plane left. There's not really a big hole in the ground, so people think that it was shot down. There's not really a lot of pieces of the plane. They're very small pieces. The area where it was hit is not that large, so it looks like it was shot down.
And before we move on, I don't know if we're going to move on, but I have to ask a question, which with the Twin Towers, it needs to be brought up, which is, what happened to Building 7? To our listeners, research everything we say. Don't just take it by our words, but also check out Building 7, which is kind of like the forgotten Twin Tower.
Well, I think now we should move on to more current events. Like,
You want to talk about current events?
like life lessons that we're getting from COVID-19.
Okay.
2020 is kind of kicking our butts, but to start the topic, the question would be, what's the biggest lesson that 2020 has brought to you or taught you? We'll start with Maurisa.
I think the biggest lesson that I learned from 2020 is to appreciate the people that you have in your life. Like, being in quarantine, you couldn't spend time with your family or your friends, and then people started getting sick and people died, and it made you think like, well, did I really appreciate them the last time I saw them? Did I tell them everything I wanted to say to them? Did I tell people I loved them? Did I, do everything I wanted to do? So, yeah, that is the biggest lesson that I learned, is definitely appreciate those in your life. Make a priority to go see your family. I know everybody thinks it's a chore to go see their parents or their siblings or relatives in general or friends. If your friend invites you out, go. Like, that's definitely going to be my new way of thinking. If my friends invite me out when the world goes back to normal, I'm going to go, because I didn't see them. I don't know when the next time I'll see them again. What if something crazy happens again where, we don't get to go out? Because it kind of crept up on us. Like, we knew it was coming, but then all of a sudden it was like we went from normal life to being not able to see each other.
Would you say don't hold back your love? Is that a good way of putting it together?
Yeah, don't hold back your love, and don't put people off. I know I can be more introverted, and sometimes people invite me out and I'll say yes, and then the day will come and I'll be like, oh, I don't want to go out. I have, something to do. And then I end up staying in. But I think from this I've learned go out, do what you got to do. Enjoy life while you can, because obviously this year we didn't get to do the things that we normally do. We're in the summertime. We can't go out. We can't go to a bar. We can't go to a club. We can go to a friend's house. Some people still don't really get together because there is still a lot of fear around it. So it's you don't know when you're going to see somebody again. Yeah, so definitely appreciate what you have basically while you have it, because things go away very fast. I mean, look at it. I don't think we really appreciated what our life was before the virus. I don't think I appreciated the little things in life. So many of us focus on I'm going to work more hours. I'm going to make more money. That's, yes, you have to work. You got to pay your bills. That's a part of life. But you need to have other things. You need to be around your family. You need to be around your friends. You need to have a hobby, enjoy things. And I think that this time also gave people more opportunity to do things that they like. I wanted to read this book, but I never have time because I'm at work. Well, now nobody's at work anymore, so everybody's home reading or doing whatever it is that they enjoy doing. Kind of appreciate what you got.
Well, mine kind of goes in similar to yours about, not taking it for granted your relationships. But I think even your freedom is very important. The freedom of being able to go to the mall, and even the freedom of not having the mask on, we take little things like that for granted, because I know in the, Eastern countries like China, they do use these masks on an everyday basis, and we don't realize how lucky we are. And, it's, even though it's inconvenient for us right now, imagine them having to wear it every day for 365 days a year. And then on a more global aspect, I think I've learned that money is not everything. Look at the epidemic that we're going through right now. It doesn't target just poor people. It targets everybody. So it's about everybody working together, trying to get things done so that we can hopefully overcome this. Yeah. And also, we need to really fix our health care industry in this country. It's so messed up. It gets me angry. Yeah. Because you see other countries that are considered third world countries, and they've been able to control this, or at least to kind of keep it at a safe level. And look at where we are here, where we kind of went from going, we were on a spike, then it's going down, and now it's back up. And now that a vaccine is going to come out, how much are they going to charge us for that? And are people going to be able to afford those vaccines?
Or even treatments. If they come up with a treatment, can people afford to get the treatment? If people are sick and they go to the hospital, can they afford to get treated right now?
Basically, the value of your life is how great your insurance is.
Yeah. I heard a story of someone who went into the hospital without insurance. They had COVID-19, and they ended up coming out of the hospital with $35,000 worth of debt. That's ridiculous. There's no reason why people should get sick and have all this money that they owe at the end. There's no reason. We're a first world country, whatever. We should have way better healthcare here. And it definitely, like, you did make a really good point. That was something that also I realized through this whole thing. I know, like, in the past, maybe I didn't always prioritize health insurance because we're younger, you know. Maybe I don't need it. Maybe I could save money in my paycheck if I don't take the health insurance. This whole situation really made me see, like, I need to take the insurance. I need to pay the extra money for it, because if I don't have it, I'm kind of, you know, screwed. Yeah.
To me, it's like my sickness should not be your profit. That's how I see it. You know, like, we're all humans. We need to value each other, and, you know, this should not be for profit. That's something that I disagree with.
Yeah.
But the problem is, and I'll challenge you guys here, is nothing really should be for profit. Because think about it. Okay, we're talking about healthcare. That should not be for profit. But what about food? That's a basic necessity. What about shelter? Should that be for profit? That doesn't really make sense to me, because the bigger picture is, like Monica said, we are all human. We should all value life and individual life. So why is it that some people are, not some people, like millions of people are homeless? So what I was saying is, like, the bigger picture is not a lot of things should be for profit.
Yeah, a lot of things shouldn't be for profit. You know, you have education as well, but the problem is it's not realistic in this world.
No, we can't. It's not realistic. Not anymore. Because when you think about it, like, okay, food, you need to pay the farmer. People need to be able to survive.
Right now.
Yeah, that's why I think it's unrealistic. The system is the way it is, and you're probably gonna get like a few minor changes depending on, you know, who you elect for president and senators and blah blah blah. But it's only gonna few minor changes and nothing very serious.
Whatever benefits the billionaires is what's going to happen for us.
Yeah.
If it benefits the billionaires for us to have free education, we'll have free education. That's how the government works.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
I think that's why, with one of the quotes you said last week, Monica, it starts at individual. What was the exact quote? Be the change you want to see in the world?
Yes.
But anyway, we went like completely left turn
Yeah.
from... Monica said she would like, at a global level, seeing healthcare being changed.
Luciano, what have you learned?
Yeah, I like how you separated it, which was personal level, like a personal lesson you learned from 2020, and then globally. So I'll kind of go with that. And personally, I learned that even though it looks like the outside world is burning and things are kind of in flames, the outside world might be like just in complete chaos, but I'm still in control as far as I'm in control. You know what I mean? Like,
How you react to it?
of how I react to it, of how I spend my time, and going back to the first episode, we were going to talk about mental health.
Yeah.
And just how I'm going to react, you know, like the world looks like it's in chaos, but I can still choose what I'm going to focus on and spend my time doing, because I could throw my hands up in the air and be like damn, this is looking real bad.
Yeah.
I'm just going to give up, watch Netflix, and never mind anything. Forget 2020. Let me wait till 2021. Or like I said, the lesson for me was I am still in control of me, of my situation, of how I handle it. So personally, that's the lesson I learned, which is I'm still in control of the things that I can control. And at a global scale, what I learned is governments don't give a shit. We are numbers to them. If you're listening to this right now, I'm sorry, but you're nobody to these people. And I'm nobody to these people. They don't care to learn who Luciano is, who Monica is, who Maurisa is. They don't want to learn your name, your age, your family, what you like, what you don't like. You're just a number, you're a statistic. That to me taught me that I got to hold on tighter to my circle and to the things that I can control.
I agree with that.
Yeah, look at them. I mean, they're like they're willing to risk people so that the economy can thrive.
Yeah.
You know, but who's gonna support the economy when there's no more people?
And you hear about corporations hiding that somebody has COVID-19.
Yeah.
So Amazon in the warehouse, they would have a worker, and it's like, keep it on the down low so that everybody else can work.
And then if they try to speak up, they would fire them.
Yep. Onto the next worker. They can replace at a snap of a finger, like Thanos. Shout out to Thanos.
So I think that's pretty much it for today.
Yeah. Did you have anything else you wanted to add?
Well, I wanted to end it with a quote. So in honor of Luciano's birthday,
Hey.
I have a quote from one of his favorite basketball players, Kobe Bryant.
Oh, that's
And it
awesome.
says, everything negative, pressure, challenges, it's all an opportunity for me to rise.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. I like that. Very good. All right. That's the end of that. And peace out, everybody.
Bye.